Hi everyone, my name is Jade Calver. I own and operate Calver & Associates Canadian Immigration Services. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Canadian Experience class and what's happening as of March 2021 for permanent residency under this class of Canadian immigration. So Immigration Canada, or IRCC, is looking and get as many immigrants to Canada as possible over the next year. Because of border closures, they are having difficulty meeting those targets. As of recently, and as such, we've seen invitations to apply under the Canadian Experience class for applicants with scores as low as 75. So what this is doing is allowing Immigration Canada to access the applicants that it has within the country so that it can meet its goals that it missed for last year, so for 2020, and to ensure that it meets its goal for 2021. If you're not familiar with the Canadian Experience class, it's a federal class of immigration. It's administered through the Express Entry program, and so it's still a points-based program administered through Express Entry, but the Canadian Experience class itself is actually just a pass or fail program. In order to qualify, you need to have 1 year of Canadian work experience or its equivalency in part-time work experience, and it can only be counted if it was done with a valid work permit. We expect there are going to be a lot of people who maybe had some unique work experience situations that are going to have some difficulty deciding if they actually meet the 1 year of requirements. If you had a study permit at the time, if you were studying full-time, you don't meet the requirements for the Canadian Experience class. In addition to that, you need to have the required language level. Depending on your NOC level, you need to have a certain Canadian language benchmark level. So it's CLB 7 for NOC O or A jobs, or CLB 5 for NOC B jobs, so it allows those in skilled trades to have a lower language level. In addition to this, so it's processed fairly quickly, so the Canadian Experience class is all done online. You need your language evaluations in order to create a profile. Right now we're advising everyone who has valid language requirements, so that's either the CELPIP, IELTS, the general versions for both of those, or the TEF, that's the French test, to create a profile and get their application in, because Immigration Canada obviously is inviting those with lower scores. So even if previously you didn't think that you were competitive, we're advising all of our clients to apply at this time. So a lot of people will be watching this wondering, should I be applying for permanent residency now? The answer is yes. So Immigration Canada, as I've said earlier in this video, is prioritizing applicants. Their last draw held this past February 2021 saw candidates with 75 points and over and who qualified for the Canadian Experience class invited to apply for permanent residency. So that was over 27,000 applicants in Canada. So we're advising again all clients to apply for permanent residency if they have the 1 year of work experience in a high-level NOC code. Just looping back to that work experience requirement, it's 1 year in a high-level position, so NOC 0, A, or B, and you need to have 1,560 hours, which works out to 30 hours per week. So it needs to be at least 30 hours per week for 1 year if you're working full-time. And lastly, as far as how to apply, so you need to first create a profile online for Express Entry. Then once you're in the pool, you'll be given a certain number of points based on the various criteria, so age, education, work experience, and language levels. And then you have to wait to be invited by Immigration Canada to apply for permanent residency. Once you have that invitation to apply, you have 90 days to submit all of your documentation. It's really important that you have all of the correct documentation uploaded. You need to have your police certificates up front, every country in which you've lived in for the last 10 years, for 6 months or more in a row, you need to have those police certificates included, as well as the other requested documentation. If not, Immigration Canada will mark your application as incomplete and return it to you. And then you can't have them reopen it. You can't contest it. You would have to apply again for permanent residency. And so it's really important to have it right the first time, because if you don't, what could happen is that if you are really low in terms of the points and then the CRS points start going up again, it could be challenging for you to be invited to apply, because we don't know what's going to happen for the next round. So that's everything today as far as my video on the Canadian Experience class. Again, we have lots of experience with express entry applications. If you're looking for help with your express entry application under the Canadian Experience class or any other express entry application, we're happy to help. You can book a consultation online with us at calvertimmigrationservices.com.